everybody, this is Esme, and today's video is the very requested summer morning routine. So I'm going to be showing you everything I do to look after the horses in the morning on an average day in the summer holidays. I actually wake up quite early in the mornings, around 6 o'clock, which is brilliant because it means that I can get the horses done before it gets too hot. When I walk up to the stables, Mickey and Casper are already there waiting, ready for their breakfast. So the first thing I do when I get to the feed room is unlock it and get Mickey and Casper's breakfast ready because they're always very hungry. All of the equine's feed is kept in these black bins, and Casper gets one measuring jug scoopful of Dobson and Hurrell competition mix. Then our donkeys Bruno and Toby get one scoopful of Molly chaff, and they've been really liking the apple flavoured one. As Mickey is retired and not really ridden anymore, he just gets one scoop of Alpha, and Casper gets a scoop as well, and so does Willow. Willow, our donkey, actually has arthritis in both of her back legs, which means she's permanently lame, so she has one sachet of equipalazone, which is basically like a horsey painkiller. Once all the feed is made, Casper has probably somehow managed to open the door to the feed room because he's a very clever horse, but he is a good boy and knows he's not allowed in. Then Casper finally gets given his breakfast. He always gets given his food first just because he's at the top of the pecking order, and afterwards Mickey gets his, and this is really the only time in the summer that the horses get shut in their stables just to separate them when they're having their feeds, and this is because the horses have 24/7 access to their field, which they much prefer to be in. However, we do leave the stable doors open so they can go in the stables if they want to, if it gets a little bit hot and they want to go in the shade, so they have free range access to go wherever they like. As the horses are not being left for a long period of time, I just put the chain over and then it's time to feed the donkeys. So during the summer, the donkeys are actually kept in a different paddock, which is smaller, so the three of them fit in there really nicely, and it's got lots of nice grass. And every single morning the donkeys know when it's breakfast time, they'll stand by the gate and they will serenade me with their beautiful singing voice. And then after Toby's original singing voice that I don't think Bruno appreciated, it's time to feed them. As you can tell, all of our equines get very excited about breakfast time, and Willow goes in this little homemade shed of ours just because her food contains her medicine and we do not want the other donkeys eating it. Then once all of the equines are happy and eating, it's time to get their fly stuff on, so in this little chest next to the shed we have the donkeys' fly masks, and the donkeys actually have special fly masks because they don't have ear attachments because the donkeys' ears are so long, so here I'm just putting Bruno's on, and these are a bit like donkey sunglasses. However, they mainly protect their eyes from the flies. So once I've put on Bruno's, it's time to put on Toby's, and it's actually a little bit more difficult than you think because their ears again are so long. It can sometimes be quite tricky to poke them through, but they are all so good at having theirs put on, and we can't forget about putting on Willow's. However, here I think she was a little bit more interested in eating her breakfast, but aren't we all? Sorry, Willow! And finally, because the flies are so bad here, I put some fly spray on the donkeys, and the place where they always seem to get the most flies are on their legs, and Bruno actually has really cute stripy legs, and especially Toby's, his legs get so bad with flies, so this just makes sure that they don't bite them, the poor little babies. And again, they're all so good at having their fly spray on, but I think it might be because they're a little bit more occupied with their food. Once I've done that, I just leave Willow to finish her breakfast in her field shelter, and then I go back to the horses. And this morning, oh my goodness, Mickey was so cute, and he likes to lie down in his stable. Obviously I left him in his stable for too long for him to stand, and he had to have a lie down, and Casper yawned not once, not twice, but 3 times. I don't know what the horses got up to last night, but this morning they were so tired and sleepy, and oh my goodness, Mickey was almost falling asleep in my arms. It was so cute. Unfortunately, we can't snooze all morning, and when Mickey finally got up, it was so adorable because he had a big stretch. And of course the horses have their fly masks put on as well, and I always like to poke Casper's little forelock through, which is so cute. Then I put Casper's fly rug on, and this protects him from the flies biting him, as well as meaning that I don't have to put fly spray all over his body. Next it's time to put Mickey's fly gear on, and when I was putting his rug on, oh my goodness, he yawned so many times. I don't know what the horses got up to last night, but I think they were having a party. Mickey also has his fly mask put on, which is especially good for him because his eyes are blue and are very sensitive to the sun. Being a cremello also means that his poor little pink nose gets burnt very easily. And now it's sun cream time, Mickey's least favourite part of the day. However, he is very good now at having it put on, even though he doesn't enjoy it, but it means that his little nose doesn't get burnt. While Mickey's sun cream is soaking in, I'll then go up to the donkeys and let Willow out once she's eaten her breakfast and collect all the buckets up. Every morning I always check the horses' paddocks to make sure it's nice and safe for them, and I always check the water in the summer because that is very important. I often clean out the water trough almost every other day in the summer because the algae grows in there so quickly, and I just use the donkeys' buckets to do this. Because it's now the end of summer, we have so many apples, and I always pick a couple for the horses and for my breakfast. Once I'm back at the stables, I'll grab both of the horses' feed buckets and give them a clean using the hose pipe. And of course, it's finally time to give the horses some of the apples. I always make sure that they bite into half of the apple. This is just to prevent them from choking. However, our horses are very used to eating apples. As you can see, we have a lot of them. Then once all of the apples have been eaten, which I think the horses very much enjoyed, it's time to let them out. So I just undo the chains and then they go out in the field. So that is my morning routine. The rest of my day is pretty much made up of riding, doing schoolwork, poo picking and all that fun stuff. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!